Hey everyone, welcome into my first ever official video on my brand new sports channel. My main original channel name is Storm Runner. I went ahead and decided to go ahead and make my own side sports channel to basically not confuse the original subscribers of my main channel on what that channel represents overall. So basically that's going to be more in the realm of personal life going forward, and this will be the side or the channel I should say, where you see everything sports related. And what better way to start than conference tournament time? Guys, you know when you're getting into this realm of the college basketball season, March Madness is right around the corner. We're 1 week away from Selection Sunday. The overall Power 4 conference tournaments begin on Tuesday, the 11th. I'm going to do 5 of these videos. Tonight here on March 9th, on this Sunday night, I'm going to be doing the ACC men's tournament, and then from then on out in order, I'll be doing the Big Ten, the Big East, Big 12, and SEC. I gotta save the best for last, obviously. If you are a longtime viewer of Storm Runner, you know that I did the Big Ten last in the past. Well, the Big Ten this year, I think it's been competitive, but I mean the SEC's just been a complete grand scheme of just of magnificent competition. Let's get started. The ACC, let's just be for real here. It's been complete trash for the most part with these teams. I mean, the teams that stand out to you are Duke, Louisville, and Clemson. Really, that's about it. Earlier in the season, North Carolina and Pitt were ranked pretty high up in the rankings. Pitt fell off badly. North Carolina fell off pretty badly. They're both fighting again in the tournament. Pitt is way further back than North Carolina. I mean, it's just insane. SMU is in the bubble at one point. They're currently out on the outside looking in. Wake Forest is struggling. This tournament could be a bit volatile. I think every conference tournament's got potential to be very volatile this year. I think we're going to have a volatile March Madness tournament in general. We'll talk about that in a week and a half. Let's get started, guys. No more chit-chat, and let's get straight to it. So, Duke, yeah, the 1 seed. They haven't faced a ranked opponent in months. We'll see how it goes. Louisville surprising. Great job of Pat Kelsey and his team. Clemson, very efficient season. Wake Forest, yeah, they've been struggling. All right, let's go into it. Number 12, Notre Dame, and number 13, Pitt is where we will start for the first round. I have liked Pitt more. Notre Dame just came off of a completely insane 4-overtime game against Cal. Pitt, to me, has too much talent to lose in the first round. I think the right side of Pitt is going, or not the right side, I think the better side of Pitt will show up here. They beat Boston College of East. They needed that game to get back on track coming into this tournament. I think Pittsburgh wins here. Notre Dame beat them in the regular season when Pitt was completely having a free fall. Again, I think Pitt will survive here and advance. 10 Virginia Tech, 15 Cal. Complete coin toss. I'm going with the upset. Cal will have the best player on the floor in Siakovic. Virginia Tech can't score sometimes. I don't really care about this game. In the next game, too, Florida State, I think, beats Syracuse. Florida State, Leonard Hamilton's retiring, a legendary coach retiring. Sad to see him retire, but I think he's been past his prime for a while. Second round, number 8, Georgia Tech. Number 9, Virginia. Hopefully the first round was self-explanatory. Ain't much to say there. Georgia Tech, Virginia. Georgia Tech has knocked off a couple of pretty highly ranked teams in Louisville and Clemson. I do think they beat Virginia. I don't like Virginia. Virginia's just too slow, man, and they can't score. They did have that offensive spurt against Wake Forest recently, but I'm not really buying it. Number 5, North Carolina. Number 13, Pitt. This is a conflicting matchup for me. This was a tough one for me to decide because these two split the regular season series. Very close games. North Carolina has got to win at least a couple games to make the tournament. The metrics love them, but the resume speaks for itself. North Carolina, they got the talent. I don't think the coaching's there. Pitt's got a similar problem. They lost Damian Dunn for the season. I mean, Ishmael Leggett played very well. I like to see Jalen Lowe get going more. Corin's been playing well. I like Pitt in the upset. Am I the only one that thinks Pitt can go on a run here? I mean, why everyone's picking North Carolina to at least get to the quarterfinals? I don't believe in North Carolina. I think North Carolina is starting to get a little overrated, actually. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but North Carolina, yeah, I know. RJ Davis, he's not going to try and let his final game be in this spot here. But look, just because you're on the bubble doesn't mean you're going to cut right on through and get in. North Carolina should not be that close to making it in the first place. Stanford Cal, I don't really care. I mean, Stanford, I guess, wins. They beat Cal twice. I can see Cal winning. Who cares? They draw Louisville in the quarterfinal. Louisville's been a tough team this year. More on that in a second. SMU, Florida State. Now, Florida State beat SMU on Saturday at home when Florida State was at home. I think SMU repays the favor, although that's a pretty tough one. SMU, I'm not a big fan of SMU this year. Never have been, even when they were cutting it close to making the tournament earlier in the season in the bracketologies. Quarterfinals, Duke and Georgia Tech. This is going to, no joke, seriously be like a 90 to 55 game here. Give me Duke to smash Georgia Tech. As much as I have been not super high on Duke to win the national title this year, I still think it will be very hard to beat this team come NCAA tournament time. Cooper Flag is a star. He is the best freshman in the country. Thank God they have Tyrese Proctor and Con Kneppel on his side and Isaiah Evans. Overall, though, Duke might end up being the #1 seed in March Madness. We'll see. Wake Forest, Pitt. Now, I wrestled with this one, too, a little bit, because Wake Forest beat Pitt at home by 2. Cameron Hildreth went off in that game. He did very well. He shot very well along with Hunter Salas. I think Pitt has more playmakers than Wake in ways, and I think Pitt's going to go on a run in the ACC tournament. Again, am I seriously the only one that thinks Pitt is going to do this? People need to start thinking outside the box. People got North Carolina in the semifinals. Yeah, that very well could happen. I know North Carolina's got the agility and speed to, absolutely beat Pitt. Pitt, if they could just move the ball quick and they limit the turnovers, I think Pitt's got a chance. I mean, Wake Forest, definitely a team that's going to frustrate Pitt a little bit on the try to throw Pitt's transition off. Louisville, Stanford, I think Louisville wins. They just beat them by 20. It could be a little closer this time. Rain Smith is out currently. He has a right ankle injury. If Rain Smith does not play in this tournament, Louisville could actually get upset early because Rain Smith, they lost Keyshawn Pryor much earlier in the season. They adjusted well. Louisville has they're honestly pretty good. I just watched some highlights of them finally. They have speed, agility. I like the way they crash the glass at times. I like Chucky Hepburn. I like what they've been doing with this team. Pat Kelsey, double thumbs up. And I'm not a Louisville fan, but I'll tell you what, you can't deny what they've been doing. Clemson, SMU. Clemson beat them by 10 on the road. I like Clemson here. Clemson's the far better team. I like this Clemson defense. I like what they're doing with Ian Shefflin, especially Chase Hunter and company. The non-conference does scare me a little bit. Clemson did struggle in the non-conference, but when Clemson in the ACC this year has been fairly good, arguably better than last year. Semifinals, Duke and Pitt. Duke beat the crap out of Pitt earlier in the season. Could it be closer? I don't know. Pitt's going to have to shoot the three really well, especially they have the athletes to try and maneuver around Duke's defense. I just don't think it's going to happen. I got Duke beating Pitt, and then Louisville, Clemson. Very intriguing rematch from a number of weeks ago. Louisville won by 10 at home. I think especially if Rain Smith's out, I think that's going to be a key point in Clemson's attack, especially defending the three, even just defending shots in general, because they're going to have to slow down Louisville. Louisville plays at a fast tempo. Clemson's one of the slower teams in the nation, and they like to control things at their own pace. So I think Duke and Clemson play in the ACC final. Seems like a lot of people are going with this route. I could easily see it being Duke-Louisville. I almost went Louisville over Clemson, but I think Clemson's going to find a way to match Louisville blow for blow. And then the ACC championship, I like Duke to win the ACC championship, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's a white knuckler, a grinded out game. I think it's going to be like 65-60. Clemson's definitely got the size to match Duke, in my opinion. But Cooper Flag, Cooper Flag will get his. He's gonna be a presence on the court, whether or not he's in foul trouble like he was against North Carolina. He had 3 fouls in the first half in that game. That's something to keep an eye on too. And then also in the late game shenanigans they've had in the past where Cooper Flag's got the ball and then he turns it over in the last 2 minutes and Duke loses. Thank you guys for watching. The next video to come out will be my Big Ten predictions. The Big Ten is definitely a tough one. Each conference is tough, but the Big Ten, I think, is a pretty big enigma. I think it's more wide open than people think, but we'll see how that kind of transpires, I should say. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.